Lil Uzi Vert just released his new album Pink Tape, and now that it's been a day or two since he has released it, and I've been able to listen to it 5, 6, 7 times, I'm going to give my review, my opinion on the album, why I think it's a mixed bag. I'm going to talk about the sales projection that just came out, and I'm just going to talk about everything regarding Pink Tape in the past couple days. So I'm going to go through each individual song real quick, talk about each song, and then we can just go from there. The first song was Flooded the Face, and I thought this song was a great intro. I loved how Uzi had that girl, whoever does the intros and has on past songs for intros of the album, where she's like, Uzi, not again, or whatever. I don't know why I think that's funny, but I do like that she's in that. I like the intro. The song as itself, though, is very good, very hard. I love the bass in it. I love how Uzi kind of uses this deep voice in it as well, where he's like, flooded the face, da-da-da-da. Really liked that aspect of the song. Great intro, probably one of the best songs on the album. Then we got Suicide Doors, and Suicide Doors is so hard. The beat is crazy. I know it's not going to be for everyone because it's like straight up rage, but at the same time, this song is going to go crazy in concerts and mosh pits and stuff. Uzi killed it with this one. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but for people who are like into that rage sound, especially Cardi fans, people who liked the, rage sound of Sofago, Ken Carson, you're gonna like this song a lot, and I liked it a lot. Definitely a good song. So far Uzi's 2 for 2. Then you got A with Travis Scott. First things first, this is the first feature, and Uzi definitely outshines Travis on this. Uzi does a better job, which he should. It's his song. I love the beat on this one as well. It's kind of funky. The thing that reminded me of, though, this, and let me know if you thought of this as well. This beat reminds me so much of Superhero with Metro Boomin and Future. The way it's like, like it's got that little to it. It's very similar to Superhero. I don't know if that's just me that's noticing that, but let me know in the comments if you notice that as well, if you think it's very similar. It's just me. Again, though, a good song, so far 3 for 3. Then we get into Crush 'Em and Amped, so I'm just going to talk about these two songs together. I think Uzi, missed with these songs, but I just didn't love them. They weren't anything I think I'm going to go back to specifically. Just kind of felt like a little bit fillery-ish, but I'm sure some people will really like this song. And I always try to think about that when I'm listening to albums. It's like, okay, maybe this song's not specifically for me, but it's going to be for someone. So I'm sure someone's going to like Crush 'Em and Amped probably more than they're going to like Suicide Doors and Flooded the Face. These songs weren't ones I will find myself continuing going back to. We got X2 and Died and Came Back. I liked both these songs a lot, specifically X2. X2 was performed at Summer Smash, which I was at. And that's when I saw Uzi and Future and Cardi, and it was my second time going, so I'd already seen Cardi and Uzi before, but Uzi performed this for the first, I don't know if it was for the first time ever, but for the first time before Pink Tape. Said it was produced by Ken. You could tell it sounds very Ken inspired. I liked it a lot. I liked the beat, I liked the song, I liked that song a lot. Died and Came Back was another good one, had a good flow, and doesn't really overstay its welcome. Spin Again, I did not like at all. It just was not my thing. Not at all. Fire and I Got You were both songs that I thought were pretty good. I definitely kept re-listening to them. When they piqued my interest when I heard it throughout the album. Can't say the same necessarily for Crush 'Em and Amped. For these two songs, That Fire and I Got You, specifically with I Got You, I really liked the beat on this one. Okay, then we got Endless Fashion with Nicki Minaj, and I just want to quick kind of rant about this song. I don't know what's up with the music industry and doing this whole remix old 80s or 90s songs or whatever era that song's from, but I'm not loving it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't BB Rexa have a big song with some big, pop producer, and it's like a remix of the I'm Blue song? but she's like, I'm good or whatever. This is basically what they're doing on this song with Nicki Minaj. They bite the I'm blue flow the entire song, and it's just, maybe it's just me, but I do not like that song at all. It's so annoying. It annoys me so much. The only time I've ever liked it was when they use it in Big Fat Liar, when Liar guy, I can't remember, whatever the actor's name is, escaping my mind. But he is like, he's blue, and they play it in that because he's like blue. He's literally blue. But that's the only time I've ever liked that song because it was used in that context. I've never been a fan of that song. Don't like that he remixed it. That's just me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Okay, rant over. Next song. Mama, I'm Sorry, and I'll talk about that one in a second. Mama, I'm Sorry was just another one I didn't find myself going back to all that much. Again, could be one of those songs that other people really enjoy. Maybe not for me. All Alone, I love this song. I love this song. Like, I find myself continuously going back to it, even if like this song feels like it could be a single as well. Pretty good. I love the flow. I know I keep saying I love the flow. Like, specifically on this song, I really, really like the melody of the chorus, where he's just like, I know that you're all alone. I don't know. For some reason, I really relate to that sometimes. No, we all can. Who can't relate to being alone? Like, no one wants to be alone. The song was really good. I liked it. I love the chorus. Seamlessly goes from chorus to verse pretty well as well. So, you know, I liked that one a lot. We got Nakamura, if I'm saying that correctly. Another rant, I guess. This wouldn't really be a rant, more just me saying my personal opinion. I'm not a huge anime fan or anything, and this song's very anime inspired, so it was not really my thing. Never been a huge anime person. Tried to watch One Piece, tried to watch Naruto, never really were my thing. I like animation TV shows, but not anime, if you get what I mean. And Just Wanna Rock, I know this song's been out for months now at this point, and it's been a single. Just Wanna Rock in the context of this album actually fits way better in my opinion, because if you're coming off of like the songs like All Alone and Nakamura, he kind of just, you know, is kind of going in these like weird directions, and then he goes to Just Wanna Rock, and it kind of makes a lot more sense compared to like releasing it as a single. But you know, the single blew up on TikTok and it went crazy, and I will say when I saw him at Summer Smash, people were going crazy when he performed this. They loved it. So Just Wanna Rock's a hit. Will always be. It's not my favorite song particularly because it's not very long and it's just kind of like a chorus the entire time. You know, in the context of the album, it makes a lot more sense to me. I never hated Just Wanna Rock. It just wasn't ever really bumping it in the car. It just was never really my thing. But in the context of the album, makes a lot more sense to me. Now I'm going to start to talk about why I think this is a mixed bag specifically. Because we're going to get into the different types of songs that are in this album. So we got Fire Alarm, CS, and Werewolf. These three songs are all very experimental from Uzi. Specifically CS and Werewolf, he goes way into this rock aesthetic. And I don't mean rock as in like Suicide Doors rock. I mean rock like straight up, like when Trippie Redd went to Neon Shark and did a rock album where like only one song had trap elements of it. Very rock and not my thing. I come to Uzi to listen to trap songs, to singing. I try to look at new albums from a perspective of a casual hip-hop fan or a casual music fan. Just think that some people are going to be taken aback and maybe turn this album off as soon as they get to these songs. Because for one, you're already almost 20 songs in. Okay? So that's a long time. That's a lot of songs for a lot of people who probably don't listen to music every single day, like some people do. I do listen to music every single day, but I try to stay in that casual lane because that's just what the type of music I like. I think people are going to be taken aback by Fire Alarm, CS, and Werewolf, just because CS and Werewolf are very rock, and Fire Alarm, he's got this weird voice thing. It's almost like he put a filter on his voice and he sounds different. I was not a fan. So those three songs were all misses for me. but that was just because of the difference and the way he switched up. And I don't want to sound like hating because he switched it up. Like, Uzi's allowed to do whatever he wants. He's built a career that is super successful to do that. Album is 26 songs, so it's okay to have a few different songs. Like, that's what he's doing. I get it. Next song was Pluto to Mars, and this song felt like Uzi was coming down, not off of drugs specifically, but just coming down off of the high that was those rock songs and the different experiments. That's what it felt like to me. I liked it, though. It's a very chill beat. It's fun. It's kind of bouncy. In this song, I feel like when he was recording it, was literally sitting in his couch or something and just bopping his head and was just like, like just kind of like not really doing anything, just kind of rapping. It almost feels like a freestyle, but it's obviously not. Patience with Don Toliver. So first things first, we got to talk about how someone in Uzi's camp, whether it was him, his label, his YouTube manager, whoever runs his YouTube account, whoever runs that or whatever, whether that's YouTube itself, they accidentally released the Cardi version of this song. So it was Patience with Playboy Cardi on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's all fixed now and it's got Don Toliver again. But when he first released, like right at midnight and I think up until like 3 a.m., it was like that. So that was kind of funny. Personally, though, I like the version with Don Toliver more. As much as I love Cardi, I don't think Cardi did as well of a job as Don Toliver did. Maybe a hot take, because I know how the Cardi fans are, but that was just me personally. But specifically with this song, with Don Toliver, I loved how he had his melody kind of flow in with Don Toliver throughout the song. It was very like R&B-esque. I don't know if you guys can hear that outside. There's fireworks going off. It's almost 4th of July, so people are doing fireworks and stuff. So I'm sorry if you hear that as I'm recording this, but it is what it is. Days Come and Go, and I'm going to talk about Days Come and Go and Rehab. So these two songs, Uzi went really lyrical. He kind of didn't really care about the beat all too much or like, you know, a good chorus. He kind of just goes in. Talks about some deep stuff, to be honest with you. Not so much with Days Come and Go, but with Rehab. But I want to talk about Days Come and Go. So Uzi's kind of just talking about his life as it is right now, or it has been the past few years since post-Eternal Take. Because, you know, a lot of people were calling him mid and calling him, you know, he fell off or he's not the same Uzi he used to be. And that, you know, it's just ridiculous to say because, you know, Uzi never really fell off. Like, he's freaking Uzi. In this song, he kind of just talks about, like, people saying he fell off, but then one day he isn't falling off because he releases Just Wanna Rock and he's huge again. And everyone's like, oh, well, he never really fell off. He's Uzi. But, you know, people were hating on him online. So, you know, he's just kind of saying days come and go. That, you know, one day I'm this, the next day I'm that. That one day I'm huge and I'm the biggest man on the planet. The next day I'm mid and I'm, you know, falling off. I liked how he kind of talked about that, but I got to be honest, I won't find myself coming back to that song very often, maybe ever, because it just wasn't the type of thing I like from Uzi, personally. Now, Rehab's kind of the same thing as far as what I was just saying. The only difference is he's talking about his time in rehab, the people he met, the different types of nurses, therapists, doctors, and everything he met, and the different types of people within the rehab. So this one kind of hit a little close to home for me. It got a little emotional. Not like I didn't cry or anything, but I was a little like, you know, my heart was, it was tugging at my heart a little bit, you know, because I've had family members who've had to go, not to rehab, but to mental, you know, houses or not institutions or anything like that, but they've had to go away for some time to, you know, work on themselves. I know people and have family that have had to go through situations like Uzi went through, and it really hit close to home for me, but I have to be honest again, probably not going to be going to that song too many times. One, because it is a little emotional, and two, because it's just not, again, the type of thing I would particularly like from Uzi. And then the last song, The End, with Baby Metal. This song is straight up hardcore metal and not my thing. I don't really need to repeat myself again. Rock, metal, it's just not my type of music. I'm sorry. I like that Uzi experimented, but it didn't hit for me. Wasn't my thing. Alright, I want to talk about these 3 bonus tracks real quick. That being Zoom, of course, and Sade. So Zoom and Of Course were really both like really good to me. I think Of Course just barely is a little bit better in my opinion than Zoom. I love the flow in the chorus on Zoom. Of Course, I really like how he flows, and he just doesn't really stop. He is truly Lil Uzi Vert on that song, where he's like going like a Uzi, where he gets his name from. And then Sade is kind of just fun. It's just a fun track. I don't know. It's just fun. I like it. It's fun. It's got a fun bouncy beat, and he's just kind of flowing on it. So that's the album. That's every song. I've talked about them all. Now I'll give my rating. I have to give this album a 6. 6 out of 10. It's not perfect. It's definitely got some good songs and some bangers, but is not Uzi's best piece of work. I think a 6 is fair. If you're coming into this album as just a fan of hip-hop, or if you're coming into this album as just a fan of hip-hop, or just wanting to check out a new hip-hop album, you're going to be taken aback when you hear the rock songs. You just aren't necessarily coming for that from Uzi. It's okay. Uzi has earned his respect to try different things at this point. He has been in the game for so long that he has earned that. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just don't think this album was 10 out of 10. It was a 6 in my opinion. Okay, so I just pulled up this right here. So apparently, I know it's only been a day or two since it released, but the projections are in and reportedly projected to sell 220,000 to 250,000 first week. That's what Pink Tape is reportedly going to sell first week. Now, I just want to talk about looking at Young Thug's album last week, and I know Young Thug is not nearly as big as Lil Uzi Vert. Just hear me out. Young Thug was projected at like almost 150K, I want to say, and he sold 88K first week. That's a big drop. Now, I don't know if there was some shenanigans going on there. Could have been, but that was a big drop. So I could see this album only doing 200K first week, and that would be a 20,000 drop. Just don't see 250K. 250K seems like a lot. I think it's going to go that high. I could be wrong. It's got some replayable songs on here. I just am not 100% sure. My guess is max 220K this week. Still a massive W for Uzi. I think it'll be the first album this year, not just to debut at number 1, but to be the first hip-hop album to release this year and go number 1. And we're in July. It'll be the first album to go number 1 as a hip-hop album in July. That's crazy, especially with how mainstream hip-hop is nowadays. So yeah, that was my opinion on Pink Tape. That was my opinion on this first week's sales. Let me know what you think about my take on Pink Tape. Let me know what your favorite song was, what your favorite feature was. Let me know. And I kind of did this video off the dome. I know I usually kind of script my videos and try to read it and then, cut it down or whatever. But I wanted to do something a little different for this video. So let me know what you thought. Uzi Vert, Pink Tape. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.